Hello everyone, my name is Jason Rutberg. I created the Advocacy Corporation to structurally protect the free flow of information in a society, any society. The other thing that I've been doing is I have joined USA 180, an organization dedicated to protecting the rights and freedoms of the American people, and have become a senior member of this organization. We launched a national media campaign last week to make people aware of S-1959, the Homegrown Terrorist Act, which gives the president the power to label whoever he wants a terrorist. The bill is written that poorly. It can be interpreted a host of different ways. And the timing of this coincides with the fact that Dennis Kucinich brought 35 articles of impeachment on the House floor, and we had the restoration of habeas corpus for the Guantanamo detainees, and the media covered neither. But let's look at what they're also not covering. They're not covering S-1959, the fact that the president can label you a terrorist, without any provocation, in fact, and put you in the classification of a Guantanamo detainee. Now, many people believe that the media is telling them the truth. They have not looked at the court case in 2000 when 5 major media corporations got together and fought a whistleblowing suit, and the result of that was, well, it's not illegal to falsify the news. That was the official and federal, or the statement that was made. That's how they got out of it. Yeah, I just said it. It is not illegal to falsify the news. So why are you still watching? Now, that came out in a movie called The Corporation. This is a movie you should definitely buy. But what people need to understand is that the Constitution is under direct attack. Not just because they want to take away our guns, not just because they want to create the ability to spy on us, but rather they want to deprive you of free speech. Now, who is they? They are people who are terrorists. The terrorists are doing this. But the terrorists aren't over in the Middle East. The terrorists are right at home. And they're in our government. Because anyone who does not support the constitutional republic that we have is a terrorist. They are un-American. Anyone. If they are in our government and they are passing laws and they do not know that we are a constitutional republic, and when you tell them, they say, so, they are terrorists. It's time we flip the tables. The terrorists aren't out there. They're in here. They're in our government. Why do you think we have 35 articles of impeachment against our president? One of those articles is manufacturing a war with Iran in 2 months. One of them. If that does not constitute terrorism, I don't know what does. I left a $100,000 job because it's that serious, people. It really is. If we don't do something, the terrorists win. And the terrorists aren't the Islamics. Yeah, they blow up buildings, but that's not real terrorism. Real terrorism is the death of your rights and your freedoms and everything you believe in. And giving all of that up. That is real terrorism. It's a tyranny. It's a tyranny of the soul. It's a tyranny of the self. I highly doubt 3,000 people amounts to very much when you consider the death of the Constitution itself. And if that's all it takes to kill a constitutional republic, we got a big problem as a country. Very big problem. So USA 180 has said that it stands behind the Constitution 100%. This is not a partisan issue. This has nothing to do with Democrat or Republican. This has to do with protecting our Constitution, our Bill of Rights. And if you're not interested in doing that, you do not belong here. Now, there are many people who have been deceived, myself being one of them. I actually thought that a democracy could have a constitution. It can't. So every time those politicians say democracy, 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 they might as well be saying terrorist, 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 fear, 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 fear. And what you need to understand is the battle is in you. It's not out there. It's in you. You stand up because it goes against something you believe in. People have all kinds of different ideas in the world. But you know what? In the United States, the idea that the country is built upon and our sovereignty as a nation is built upon is constitutional republic. If you're not into that, get out. It's really that simple. Nothing to be mad about. Corporations must legally make a profit. You know that. But they must put profit over every other competing interest. So what does that mean? What that means is that if a corporation is going to produce a widget for 50 cents here, and it costs 10 cents to produce it in China, they're going to produce it in China. Screw you. It doesn't matter. And with the global trade situation, the way global trade has been set up, to compete with China, we would have to gut all of our infrastructure, all of our health care, all this other kind of stuff we'd have to gut to compete. So that's exactly what these people are doing. They are gutting our Constitution because it gets in the way of trade. And you know what? That is not okay. And we need to tell them that is not okay in a very loud voice. And that means leaving work if necessary, because guess what? If you look at a pyramid, the strength in the pyramid isn't at the top. It's at the bottom. It's because you are complicit. It is because I am complicit. It is because I fund and support these institutions that are gutting me. And I'm not doing it anymore. I'm putting my energy somewhere that's going to make a difference. And even if I do work for these organizations, you can bet I work on my own terms. So, you need to understand that there are people who believe in one worldview, and there are people who believe in a different worldview. And quite frankly, I like the worldview that we believe in the United States. And anyone who attacks that worldview by ripping apart our Constitution is either too stupid to be in Congress because they don't know what kind of country we are, or they're the terrorists. Join USA 180, a nonpartisan organization dedicated to protecting the rights and freedoms of the American people and making the rights and freedoms of the American people an election issue.